that to you.
Yeah. And that lady was just being kind.
I don't think so. I'll let you get at it.
Good morning. I love all the chatter. But you get to stay for lunch today and play a game, so you're going to get a chance to catch up on all the chatter you need today. Good morning. My name is Joyce Madsen. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the gathering companion this morning, this second Sunday in January. What a difference from one week to the next, I have to say. Last Sunday, many of us who were here, we selected our words. And lots of us have been reflecting on what those words are and what they mean for us. My word, I have to tell you, is aspire. So I am feeling quite challenged by that word. And as we are individually reflecting on the year, we are beginning a new series of learning over the next 4 weeks. Chris is going to explore uncloseted spirituality. That's a good label. He's going to look at the Jesus tradition with a liberating and transforming lens that uses queer scholars and other interpretations. So we're going to be invited to move deeper into a spirituality that might disrupt our norms, expand our love, center the marginalized, and broaden our understanding of faith. Now that sounds like a time of learning and challenge, but one I think is very fitting for all of us here at Southminster Steiner. And when I think about it, I think our Indigenous families have long had an acceptance of people of all genders and sexualities, and we can learn from them. So we need to do that as we continue to understand what it means to be in partnership as a Treaty 6 partner. This morning, I want to welcome everyone, those in the room and those who are watching online, and welcome everyone and invite you to share the words with me. We welcome and affirm all sizes, all ages, all colors, all cultures, all abilities, all genders, all sexualities, all learning styles and neurotypes, all production or none, all people. Welcome.
Good morning, my name is Chris. I use the pronouns he, him, and as we light our community candle this morning, we do so recognizing that it has a spark in it that reflects the spark in each of us. It lights here in the center of our gathering that gives us a focal point, a place to focus on and to say, this light unites us, it centers us, it grounds us. It inspires us. And so as we gather, every time we light that candle, may we use that as a point of reflection and as our centering. As Joyce mentioned, we do acknowledge that we're gathered on Treaty 6 territory, the traditional and ancestral meeting grounds of the Nahio, Cree, Saulteaux, Blackfoot, Dene, and Dakota Iska. We also recognize this land as the homeland of the Métis, the Otipemisiwak people who govern themselves. In this space, we specifically honor the two-spirit, indigiqueer, and gender-diverse ancestors of these nations. Within Nayo culture, we recognize the Ayakweo, those who embody both masculine and feminine spirits, and were historically revered as healers, visionaries, caretakers of the community. We acknowledge the Métis Two-Spirit people whose balanced energy and roles as mediators have been vital to the health of their kin since time immemorial. We recognize the colonial systems and governments and churches and policies, including residential schools, that sought to erase these sacred identities. And today we commit to the ongoing work of decolonization by celebrating 2S LGBTQIA+ people and ensuring that those voices are central to our shared future in the spirit of reconciliation. Our time for all ages is here. We get to gather on the carpet. We get to be present and participate in whatever way we want. Today, I've got something for us here on the carpet. Welcome, everyone. Hello, hi. Hello, lots of room. I think that you might know a little game called Would You Rather? I'll tell you about it if you don't. Would You Rather is a game where we're asked questions about two things at a time. Would you rather do this or do that, or something like that? And then you get to pick. So I thought we'd play a little bit. How about we start with an easy one? Would you rather go to the doctor or the dentist? A lot of you are doing this with your heads. Okay, that maybe wasn't the easiest one. That was a hard one. Would you rather spend this afternoon playing sports or video games?
Sports.
Yeah, good. Okay, excellent. Some of you have your answers all at the ready.
Sports.
Some of you are like this, yes. Some of you are like this, no. Okay, here's another one. Would you rather live in the sky or under the sea? Sky? Sea? Wait. Oh, you've got follow-up questions. What was your question, Tyler?
Do we have something to stand on?
Something to stand on in the sky? If you live in the sky, I imagine you could fly.
Yeah, we would be birds.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe you're birds. Who knows? Well, these are very interesting. Here's another one. Would you rather eat a rotten egg or old expired yogurt? Oh, you already eat old expired yogurt. Okay, perfect. Do you want another one? No, you don't want another one. Would you rather be a master at painting or an amazing dancer? Painting?
Yeah. I want to be both.
You want to be both?
Yes.
Painting, dancer. Are there right answers to these questions?
No.
No. Sometimes?
No.
Well, you never know. Would you rather wear a clown nose every day or clown feet every day?
No.
Like clown shoes, you know, the big ones. Clown nose? How would you blow your nose if you wore a clown nose every day? Come on. Although, to be fair, how would you go up the stairs if you wore clown feet every day? I don't know. Sideways. Sideways is the answer. Yes.
I know a different one.
Do you have another would you rather?
Oh, well. Oh, are we done?
No. No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I didn't have a would you rather.
Okay. Good. Excellent. You know, I started out with this little fun game because you caught on real quick. There's usually somewhere in the middle, maybe, or there's sometimes you would rather say, can I do both? Or sometimes you would say, neither, please, no thank you. And so this game is based on two options, this one or that one, either or. And it's really hard to make a decision and to do things like that, sometimes impossible. And the world likes to do that too, not just with a game called Would You Rather, but the world loves to make either or things too. Like, you know, do you want to be this or that? Do you like red or blue?
Red.
Well, yeah, and sometimes the answer's red or blue, and sometimes it's purple, and sometimes it's yellow, and sometimes it's polka dot. And sometimes the world likes to do that with asking, you know, are you a boy or a girl? Either or what? Sometimes the answer is somewhere else. So, I love this game because we start with this either or thing, but then we realize, you know what? There's never only two answers. There's never just two choices. There's sometimes a whole array, a whole spectrum of answers. You can like any color. You can like doing any activity. You can like any spoiled, rotten food in the fridge. Tyler, yes.
So, oh yeah, I got a would you rather question now.
Okay.
Would you rather be in the last video game you played or in the last movie you watched?
Oh.
So, if you watched stuff like Gojo, you're cooked. And if you played like Dark Souls, yeah.
I'm going to repeat this for anyone in the room who couldn't hear. So Tyler asked, would you rather be in the last video game you played or in the last movie that you saw? It's a really good question.
I would do the movie.
Amazing. So I think the last video game I played was in like 2002, so I really have to rack my memory for that one. Hey everyone, thanks for coming up and playing Would You Rather and for being so open to all kinds of answers to those questions. Kid Spirit's happening this morning. Daisy and Ariane are happy to welcome you to the classroom. Youth Space is happening. Wes is happy to invite you to the youth room downstairs. Some of you that sit a little closer may have noticed that I'm sitting on a chair and not a stump lately, and it's because the stump completely broke under my weight. Yes, I'll receive all your jokes. If any of you happen to have a bead on, a tree stump or something that would make an appropriate seat for me, I don't know why a chair isn't good enough. It's because tradition, I guess. It's always been a stump, so it must always be a stump.
Would you rather have a stump or a chair?
Yes. Thank you, Lyle. Sometimes I want a stump, and sometimes I don't. This is too many questions now. Talk to me after. It's a time for a few announcements of the life and the work of our community. If you've got something to share or an invitation to make, please come forward. I know there's a few of you, and we'll make our way.
Potluck today. So, you are welcome to stay, whether you brought food or you didn't bring food, there will be enough. And after the potluck, there will be a game. It is called The Truth in Truth and Reconciliation. There is a volume 2 of this game that will be called Reconciliation in Truth and Reconciliation. But we're playing the truth part today, so it's all the information about the history of colonization, and what has brought us to this point. So, it's one of those games that has instructions, really easy to play. When my family plays it, there's a lot of laughter and then some deep discussions. Hope you come.
Good morning, I'm Bill Hibbard. I represent, you remember last fall we had a dinner auction, and one of the items auctioned off was a big Canadian meal at McGonagall's house. That's about to happen. I think it's on the 6th of February, if I got that right. Something like that, 7th. Anyhow, there's a whole committee putting together a menu and all of that sort of thing. A couple of them from New Brunswick, so be careful with this question. I've got a little form. I'm just going around to meet everybody that bid on that or are successful to make sure that we know all of your your food restrictions. Just want to make sure we're okay there. And I'll get your emails as well, so I can send out a group email telling you about parking matters and that sort of thing. So catch me sometime during the or after the service, maybe. Best or Grace. Thank you.
This is my
Our wisdom reading this morning is from Mark Nepo, called Breaking Patterns, from his book of Awakening. We create patterns that others depend on, and then the last thing we ever imagined happens. We grow and change, and then to stay vital, we must break the patterns we created. There's no blame or fault in this. It is commonplace in nature. Watch the ocean and shore do their dance of build up and crumble, and you'll see this happen daily. We know we're close to this threshold when we hear someone say, "You're not yourself," or "That was out of character for you." What is difficult at this juncture is to resist either complying with how others see us or withholding who we really are. Growing and changing is critical. Breaking the patterns we created before we grew and changed, this is the work of learning, to know ourselves and each other more fully. This is a reading from a contemporary author and poet. May we find wisdom for our living.
So, because I do what I do, and I'm always thinking about ideas and theological themes and values and principles that we weave together, because of this, I have this little dream. So imagine with me. Imagine walking into a library where nothing is shelved the way you expect. There's no fiction section. There's no history aisle. There's no tidy row of poetry. Instead, the books are arranged by emotion, longing, courage, wonder, grief, sadness. A mystery novel sits beside a memoir because both ache with the same unanswered questions. A science text rests next to a poem because both marvel at the stars. In this library, the categories dissolve and something more human emerges. You begin to realize that the world is not built on shelves that have either this or that, but on a vast living spectrum of experience, one that refuses to stay in the boxes and on the shelves that we build for them. The closest I get to this is walking into my library branch and seeing a shelf near the front that says ideas, or a shelf that says February is blank month. And then you get someone's idea of how all these books kind of weave together and what the connections are. If we can ponder the image of breaking down categories and imagining moving beyond traditional or cultural ways of organizing into dichotomies, then this is a fantastic introduction to our next 4 weeks. To imagine what it might mean to uncloset our spirituality, to ponder how what we're learning from liberation, feminist, and queer theology helps us grow deeper to the radical nature of the beginnings of the Jesus tradition. Listen to this author describe what we're in for. I propose a return to the understanding of queerness as a practice and an energy of radical emergence rather than a coat rack of identities. Just as a spiritual practice can be a living question, queer theorists speak to a queerness that is constantly re-examining itself and challenging injustice. There are many ways to be queer or to practice queerness. Even a long list here would defeat the point. Like giving names to God, it would never be enough. That type of queerness, in my opinion, is open to all. It's an invitation. What results from this kind of practice is a more secure bond with a relational, mysterious, and fluid world, which is perhaps the queerest thing of all. That's from Lynn Marie Tonstad in her book, Queer Theology Beyond Apologetics. So just as we don't need to identify as a woman to learn from feminism, just as we don't need to be poor and oppressed to learn from liberation theology, neither do we need to identify as queer to learn from queer, informed, and centered spirituality. This is for all of us. Another quote, Jennifer Purvis, associate professor at the University of Alabama Department of Gender and Race Studies, writes this: queer signifies not only a range of variant genders and non-heterosexual sexualities, but queer signifies a posture of resistance, questioning attitude, and a set of techniques and approaches. When I look at her definition of queer, that goes beyond the identity markers, just saying this is what it might mean to be queer, or to queer our understandings, I look at this list she gave us and I think, is that not the Jesus tradition? Is this not the walk of spirituality? Just one of these techniques and approaches that will help our awareness and affirming journey, and particularly our own spiritual journeys, is in what Mark Nepo has written and the wisdom we heard today. We create patterns that others depend on, and then the last thing we ever imagined happens. We grow and change. And then to stay vital, we must break the patterns we created. Watch the ocean and shore do their dance of build-up and crumble, and you'll see this happen daily. There have been plenty of movements of reform in culture, in church, in Christianity, in government policy, and all of that kind of stuff. Whenever reform happens, deconstruction must happen so that something new can be built. Something must be dismantled before it can be mantled. Is mantled a word? Whatever it is now. So one approach we continue to remind ourselves, and a good way to start this series and this thinking, is in this either-or thinking that is very dangerous in our complex systems, precisely because nothing is absolutely so. For better or for worse, we live in a whole set of complex systems. Amazing how easy it is for us to see only two binary answers to a problem, and yet it's pervasive. It's where we begin, and it's not where we end. It's where we begin in our game of would you rather, but it is not where we end. I would like to read you another quote by Lynn Marie Tonstad. Binary distinctions like male, female, heterosexual, homosexual, good, evil, reason, emotion, white, black, and so on, seek to organize reality and categorize it according to whether it is this or that. Those ways of organizing reality are also ways of valuing reality. We know that binary divisions don't successfully and consistently capture all of reality. One of our tasks is to make visible the culturally constructed nature of this basic organizing principle, thus limiting its power and its efficacy. It's part of the process of destabilizing in order to change binary and hierarchical distinctions between men and women, straight and gay, cisgender and transgender. Again, she's talking about if we want to do something to critique and to dismantle a structure that is not just, that is not the way we would like to see reality, then it means doing some things, saying some things, living some ways that destabilize that. The Chinese have the visual symbol of the yin-yang to describe the oneness of life. The symbol is a circle broken into swirling halves. One half is white with a black dot in it. One half is black with a white dot in it. Both halves need each other to create a whole circle. The small dot is a reminder that nothing is ever all of one or all of another. They exist in relationship to each other. Life is one piece. There's a flowing nature to it. We don't know the end point. There's always more to come, more than meets the eye, more than our hasty judgments can possibly understand. And this is the challenge that we face when we create an either-or worldview, when we wonder why the suffering never ends, because we think it's either all good or all bad. The dot on the yin-yang symbol is often a shadow or a blind spot. It's the part of life that frustrates you or annoys you. It's the person you can't forgive. It's the limiting belief you can't let go of. It's the trigger for your anger until you befriend this spot that doesn't seem to belong. It will continue to gnaw at you and manifest as conflict for yourself and others. This flow, this not all or nothing, this is wisdom that many in the world, particularly in the East, have been teaching for generations. In a conversation with a man named Nicodemus, Jesus is explaining the renewal that comes with the spiritual life. We sometimes remember one particular part of the Jesus story with Nicodemus. It's the whole, you must be born again to be a part of the spiritual life. He uses these poetic images of birth and rebirth, wind and water. And at one point, he turns to Nicodemus and he tells him about the nature of this kind of living. And he says, the wind blows where it chooses. You hear the sound of it, but you don't know where it comes from, and you don't know where it's going. And so it is with everyone who embarks in the renewal of their spirits. Like wind, the spiritual journey is compared in this moment with Jesus and Nicodemus to wind. Not a box, not a rule book, not a fixed point. Wind. Wind is fluid, it moves, it dances, it resists containment. It touches everything but belongs to nothing. It's relational, shaped by mountains, valleys, buildings, trees, you as you stand in its way. It's uncontainable. No jar can hold it, no doctrine can trap it. And so it is with the spiritual life, so it is with faith, so it is with us. We are not meant to be boxed. We are not meant to be fixed points. So it is with everyone who embarks to be renewed in the Spirit. We are meant to move, to respond, to swirl, to shift, and to breathe. Fluidity is sacred, not suspect. Fluidity is sacred, not suspect. Queering our understanding of our spirituality opens for all of us this opportunity to just deconstruct where this either-or thinking comes into our own lives. Where rigid binaries are a part of our understandings or are a part of our days. It teaches us that truth is not always found in the old familiar categories, but often in this expansive spectrum, in the purples and the oranges, and the swirls and the polka dots, in the sacred in-betweens. When we start using language of spectrum, when we start using the language of rainbow, when we start using the language of it's a vast array, we start moving beyond this temptation to look at things with only two answers, this or that. And what does this say to all of us? It says, you're not just one thing. You are not just this or that. You also are becoming. You are unfolding. You are a spectrum of sacred possibility. Spirituality comes to the way we see the world and will always come back to us. And then when it comes back to us, it will always come back to the way we see the world. So the way we see ourselves is the way we see the world, and the way we construct the world, and the way we live in the world. So, this isn't just some theory. We too are fluid and unfolding. We too are a spectrum of sacred possibility. And when we embrace that, when we stop asking, are you pink or blue? Are you male or female? Are you gay or straight? And when we start celebrating purple and non-binary and trans and evolving names and all the squishy in-betweens, we begin to heal. We begin to liberate. We begin to live. So today I invite you to let go of boxes. Those are for your Christmas ornaments. They are not for us or our spirituality. I invite you to breathe into the wind. Feel the wind on your face sometime today. And be reminded of the swirl of sacred possibility. Uncontained, impossible to manage. What would it mean if we saw how deeply our identities meet at the intersections of all of these places? What would it mean if we were able to queerify our thinking and our tradition in such a way that we find meaning and spirit in the places that refuse the neat categories? The wild, the erotic, the unexpected, the unpredictable, the uncontainable, the relational. Follow the wind to the in-between places and find there something new and something beautiful, and find there yourself. May it be so.
invite you to join me as we strengthen our intentions. The world is one. We are one. When one celebrates, we all celebrate. When one suffers, we all suffer. May we ever seek new ways, be support and encouragement for one another, affirming the worth of each person. May we always celebrate the wonder and wisdom of our place, one among many, in this planet's natural diversity. May we discover every day ways to honor the value and uniqueness of each person's experience, journey, and story, and stand against exclusion, prejudice, and hate. In the beauty of community and in our need for each other, we pray as those born of light. Amen.
To live in the Spirit and to be in the spiritual life means to find new ways, to let the wind blow, and to be changed by it. So may we do more than just live this day out. May we do more than just rehearse our living, May it be something that breaks and goes beyond boundaries we set for ourselves, to live in those in-between places. And who knows where that might take us. Let us follow the light.